Hey, hey, welcome to Women Thrive interview series with our speakers from the Women Thrive Summit. I'm excited to have you all here joining for today's conversation as we explore the topic of build from the break, from setback to setup. And if you have experienced any setbacks in life or you're currently experiencing any setbacks in life, this conversation is for you. But before we begin and bring on our guest, I want to invite you to leave a comment below in the comments and let us know where you're joining from. And maybe you have already signed up for the Women Thrive Summit, then let me know that you have already saved your spot. But if not, you are here to get to know some of our speakers from the Women Thrive Summit 2026. Today's guest is Dawn Gates. Hi, Dawn. How are you?
Hi, Ray. I'm great. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fantastic. I'm looking forward to exploring this conversation because I know what it's like to kind of hit breaks on your life and feel like no matter how hard you're moving forward, there's always a setback. There's always something just gets in the way of our goals, our vision, our success. So this conversation is really, I think, is important to make sure we're supporting our audience who may be experiencing that. So before we begin, I'd love for you to introduce yourself to our audience today.
Certainly. I'm so grateful to be a part of this community first and foremost. But my name is Dawn Gates, and I am a certified diversity professional. I'm a pivot to passion coach, a retired Army veteran, mom, wife, entrepreneur, and speaker and author. I've spent more than 20 years in the military, retired, and set off a course in a different um, uh, industry, and then found myself facing a disruption in my life, a break. And this has sparked me to go on this path to become the pivot to passion coach. So I'm really excited to be talking about what I'm going to be sharing at the Women Thrive Summit later on next month.
Yeah. Why do you think this is an important conversation? What can you draw from your own life experiences to add to this?
Yes, certainly. So I don't know anyone who's walking the earth right now who has not encountered some type of disruption or some type of break that just kind of maybe sat them on their butts and they didn't know what to do, and they kind of felt like, I just have to move, I just have to do something. From my drawing from my own experience in the military life is very much hurry up and wait, and then sort of you find yourself in a situation that you thought was going to be one thing and it turns out to be something else, and so you just have to adjust and move forward. So I tried to draw from that experience and then just personal life experiences as well, where things are happening and they're happening beyond your control. But what you do have control over is your next step. And so pivoting and figuring out what that step is going to do, helping to build yourself from that break is really what I want to, I think it's important for everyone to learn.
Yeah. What have you had to do in order to pivot, or what has been sort of your life experiences that led you to pivoting?
Well, the most recent experience I went through was just over a year ago. I was working in a career that I thought I was going to retire from, and in the diversity, equity, inclusion space.
Mm.
Suddenly, out of nowhere, I was sent home, and I had to figure out what I was going to do next. And it kind of led me down this path where I had some time, just a little bit of time to figure out my next move, instead of racing to jump into something new. I decided that I needed to take a step, take a breath, and just kind of figure out how I could turn this situation into an opportunity. A lot of times, people have gone through, I know I've gone through situations where I have had a challenge and I just felt like I had to bounce back really quickly. And I didn't think, and I just moved. And I wanted to take this time and this breath to say, okay, how do I want to rebuild my world? How do I want to grow from this experience? How can I make this not such a negative and turn it into a positive? So that was the most recent thing. I've had also a lot of different things that happened in my life throughout the years that I realized probably after the moment passed, I could have taken that time to do something different or do something that really spoke to me and my purpose.
What do you think is important? So, when we experience these setbacks, something unexpected, something just, slams the brakes on the life as you know it. And in that situation, instead of allowing that to help, spiral, what do you think is important from your experience?
I think that even when you think you don't have the time, it's important to realize you do have time to pause and to really take stock of what you have and how you can help propel that forward. Part of the challenges that people face is that they think that they have no other choice, or they have no agency in how they move and shift after a crisis, after a disruption in their lives. The reality is, if you don't take the time in that moment, the time will get taken from you later. So taking that time and really digging in and saying, this is what I have. This is what's taking stock of yourself. This is what I have to offer. This is who I am. This is where I want to go. How do I get from point A to point B? So I think that pause is really important. And it may seem like it's, in the moment, like it's taking up too much time, but seriously, it will save you time later down the
Mm.
road, because you won't have taken a path that you just felt like you had to go down because you didn't have time to think about it. So
Yeah,
pausing. Mhm.
that's a really good advice because sometimes, we have that knee-jerk reaction. It's like, okay, I'm just going to jump in and dive into the next. It's like jumping from one relationship to another. It's like that is not the way to go about it. Take a moment, take a breath.
Exactly.
And
Build with intention.
yeah, Robin says, "Thank you, Dawn. There's always power in the pause, isn't it, Jazz? Like power in the pause." Um, Take us back to the moment where you had to find your new passion or uh, new road, I suppose, in your journey. What did you do? What really stood out for you about that experience? Maybe it's something that was challenging, or what supported you in that process?
Sure. I can remember the day I was sent home. And initially, I just thought, I walked around in a fog thinking, this is going to pass, things are going to go back to normal soon. And I had been working at kind of a breakneck speed for so long. Then I had a week to myself. Then the week turned into a month. And then the month turned into 2 months. And I was like, I've got to do something with this. This is really, kind of freaking me out. What am I supposed to be doing here? I need to be doing something. And I tapped into my higher being and my spirit. And I said, you know what? This is my moment to pause. This is my moment to slow everything down. What other time in my life am I going to have this? And I know that disruptions don't always happen this way, but I happen to be in a space and a place where I didn't have to worry about what was going to come next immediately. I had that space and that time to really reflect. And what I did was I thought back to, well, what are the things I've been doing all these things because I felt like I had to? What are the things that really spark my energy? What are the things that really get my juices flowing? And I started tapping into those things, those hobbies I used to do. And I thought about, if I ever had to go back into the office again, how would that look and what would I want that to look like? I have control over that now, and really tapping into my imagination and saying, I can build this world out. What would it look like to be in the ideal position I want to be in?
Mm.
And so that led me to my passion of really wanting to help people, helping women in their space of transition and times of disruption. And also my creative nature. I love speaking to people. I love drawing and painting and doing things like that. So I tapped into that, and that kind of helped propel me into, this is the space I'd like to be in. Now, how do I connect the dots to get there? And I think doing that is what really kind of settled my nerves, number one, but my spirit as well. It helped me
Mm.
to regain that confidence and passion that I kind of put to the back burner because I felt like I had to do work, 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 work.
Yeah, and it's definitely rewarding when you have that opportunity to do that, and you really start to think, well, what do I really want, right? Not just because I have to, because now I am driven by what I'm really passionate about, and it costs more in time and I don't know, wasted resources going down a wrong path than slowly getting onto the path which you're meant to be on and then really enjoying that journey, isn't it?
Exactly. That time is valuable. It seems like I said in the moment where it may feel like I don't have time to do it, but you don't have time not to do it. You have
Yeah.
to take that moment. You have to dig in. Really
Yeah.
get in touch with yourself.
So who do you work with now and who do you support?
So mostly military women in transition. That's a big thrust of my work because one, I know that background. I know that feeling of coming out of one kind of ecosystem and trying to get into a new one. So whether that be career wise or whether it be, figuring out your new relationships, I want to cut off all and everything that had to do with the military and move into this new space. I also work with women. It's sort of in that 40-ish age range. It seems to be a time when you start to think about, am I in the right path or am I in the
Mm,
right space? And if I'm not, is there an option for me to do something different? Yes. The answer is always yes. So I try to help them navigate those feelings of caution. And, I'm not telling anyone to jump off a cliff right away. I'm not doing that at all, but helping them navigate those feelings of what's the cost to you if you stay in the space that you're not really certain about versus jumping into the space that you want to be in. And yeah, there are going to be some unknowns, but it's the space you want to be in. Your creative juices, your energy, everything will be at the optimal level because you're in the space you want to be. How much is that cost difference going to be for you? So those are kind of the audiences I work with.
yeah, it's just amazing because we all need, someone to help us expand our perspective. Because sometimes when you know something so well, like maybe a career or something you've been doing for your whole life, and then suddenly, like you said, that is gone or taken away from you, it sometimes it's hard to have a perspective of what's possible, where you could go. And I think working with someone like yourself, it just allows you to think outside the box and find new roadmap that you maybe never thought about.
Exactly. And what I found is that some of my clients are either rediscovering something that they had left dormant years ago, or they're finding new passions that they didn't think they were able to do. And it's like, well, why not?
Yeah.
Why can't you do that? What is stopping you from doing that? And when they realize that they're their own barriers to getting to that new space or that new path, the enlightenment is like, oh, I could just get out of my way.
I love that. Dawn, how do people connect with you if they wanted to explore this conversation with you?
Certainly. I am on LinkedIn at the Don B. Gates and also on Instagram at the Don B. Gates and Pivot to Passion. I also have a website, pivottopassion.com. That's pivot-to-passion.com.
Amazing. So, this is a topic that we're going to be exploring a little bit further at the Women Thrive Summit in March. That's happening virtually this year. What can people expect during your talk?
During my talk, I hope to share with everyone some strategies, some ways to reframe their thinking, some ways to come out of the I have to do this to I get to do this, and how do I navigate from that spot to the new spot. Really helping people just realize that what we have been fed through media, through society, through the people who care about us but are really trying to protect us and kind of shelter us from things, we have control to be able to be bold, to be brave, and to build with intention when those disruptions and those life crises happen. It's not easy. It is work. It takes work, but it is very much doable. And anyone can move from a space of halt, disruption to a
Mm.
space of movement and flow and creativity. So I'm hoping to share all of those strategies and tips during my talk on March 16th at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah. Oh, I want to read some comments here. So Lynn just said, amazing, Dawn. I have done some volunteering with military transition for spouses. Love what you're doing. And Donna said it's the fear of the unknown. yeah, leaping into a new space, maybe a new direction is definitely always a little bit scary. But look, the way I see it, it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to do something you've never done before, do something that maybe you're passionate about. As you're talking about pivot to passion, and just rediscover. You may rediscover not only the thing that you love, but rediscover a whole new identity that you could create for yourself. Which, doing something so exciting that changes your life and somebody else's lives as well.
Definitely. And I'm not saying that it doesn't come with fear, and as I mentioned, hard work,
Yeah.
but learning to walk with that fear, learning to understand
Mm.
why that fear is there is key to that. It's just trying to protect you from the unknown, definitely. But sometimes that unknown it can open up and unlock an entire world that you never even thought you could be a part of, and it could really shift and change your life.
Yeah, for sure. Well, this is what we are going to be discovering. And I know that our annual Women Thrive Summit has been truly transformational for so many people who have joined us before. This is our sixth year running this virtual event. It's free to attend. You can join it from anywhere in the world. And Dawn will be speaking at this event between the 16th to the 20th of March. So all you have to do is head over to womenthrivesummit.com, save your free spot, and you can share with other people as well who you think may want to attend this event. It's a free event. This is where a lot of our global audience, women from all around the world, are joining to be there to celebrate, to experience this space where we can say, look, I'm not maybe quite there where I want to be yet, or maybe I am in a transition, but I want to meet like-minded people who are also doing it or talking about it or have done it before. And so, Dawn, what day are you speaking on?
I will be featured on Monday, March 16th at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah.
Excited to see everyone join.
Amazing. And every day we're going to have not only amazing speakers who are bringing their wealth of knowledge and expertise, but also we're going to have some networking sessions, some interactive panels. It's all happening on Zoom, so you can just tap in. And it's not like you're going to be in, some kind of webinar room. No, you get to be actively participating. You can put on your camera, you can ask questions, you can raise your hand, and just be part of that experience. This is such a phenomenal event which you will want to be part of. Dawn, as a speaker, you already been on this journey with us for, kind of pre-summit. What has stood out for you about kind of the Women Thrive community and Speakers Network?
It's a community like no other. I I've been so inspired and motivated by the collection of women who are part of this group. The support that the community builds within us and through us. We've made so many networking opportunities through the Women Thrive Summit, and I'm excited to keep growing and learning more from everyone else who's going to be speaking during that time. I'm excited and thrilled to just be a part of this. This has been an exciting journey, and I love every step of it.
Oh, Dawn, it's been amazing to just have you part of it. I loved seeing you on the showcases and sharing your story, inspiring others, but also just, being active participants in our speakers community. And you know what really shines through when the summit does come and the relationships that everybody has built, the support between the speakers, it really, really, truly feels just like a safe space for everybody else to step into, especially our audience. It's
Yeah.
not like, you know, a bunch of strangers doing it. It's a group of women who already build their relationships and they're here to truly support you.
We are sisterhood. We really are. And it's so interesting to see all of the ways that our shared, dialogue has, sparked other situations, other communities, other opportunities that we might not have been able to be a part of had we not been in this community. So it's
Mm,
amazing. It's really, really amazing.
mm. I think the way you say it's like collective mission. Like we are on a collective mission to make an impact, and that's what our audience will get to experience in March.
Certainly. Certainly.
Dawn, great to see you one more time. Where do people connect with you?
I'm on Instagram and LinkedIn at the Dawn B Gates and pivot-to-passion.com.
Amazing. Well, if you have felt inspired by our conversation with Dawn today, make sure you go over to her social media channels, drop her a message, let her know that you've heard this conversation, and maybe ask about her talk at the Women Thrive Summit, because I know she has some digital goodies, and she is contributing so much to the Women Thrive community. So make sure you get in touch with her and ask her how can you sign up to the summit through her, to make sure you receive some wonderful gifts as well. Dawn, great to see you. I hope this supports the women who are in this particular moment in time, maybe looking for their next opportunity or next adventure, and they do get in touch with you.
Great to see you again as well, Ramonda. And yes, looking forward to it. Please reach out.
Yeah. And so if you have watched this up to now, please make sure you share this live with your audience. And as of course, don't forget to save your spot for the Women Thrive Summit in March. Save the date in your diary, 16th to the 20th. We are going to be live featuring all speakers for I think 10 hours a day, which is going to be really absolutely incredible energy. So you got to be there to experience it. We look forward to seeing you there. And in the meantime, tap in every single day. We are featuring now speakers from the Women Thrive Summit. So you can tap in to get to know our speakers ahead of time. Look forward to seeing you then. Take care for now.